The United center, John Paxson, recently retired from the Bulls, now a radio analyst for Chicago and star of the Bulls winning in 1992-93, helped raise the 3 back-to-back World Championship banners here at the new United Center to go up with the rest of the banners, including the retired jersey of Michael Jordan. Our starting lineups tonight, as you see the Hornets on the left and the Bulls on the right, and the key to that, Doug Collins, correct me if I'm wrong, is Burrell Pippen.
Yeah, Scotty Burrell is going to have his hands full with Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen has played great against the Charlotte Hornets. I look for David Wingate to come off the bench and playing also. And B.J. Armstrong has really played well against Muggsy Bogues, a career-high 28 points in the opening game we did last year on TNT. So look for that matchup also. B.J. coming off screens. Muggsy's had problems with that.
And our officials tonight are Bill Oakes, Ronnie Nunn, and Hank Armstrong. Ready for the first regular season game ever here at the new United Center in Chicago. 45 acres on the complex, 216 luxury boxes, and 20,500 seats. Phil Jackson, 55 wins last year. He'll be hard-pressed to match that this year with the changes in the NBA. He gets his team on the floor. You see that Will Perdue is starting at center. Luke Longley is here but has a sprained ankle. The man they feel will start at center most of the year. Bill Winnington is on the injured list for Chicago.
We're going to get Robert Parrish for stealing the tip, so it'll be the Bulls' ball. You know, speaking of Will Perdue, Will has played very, very well in the preseason and has deserved this starting position. He's an excellent passer and has been very active on the offensive boards in the preseason. So look for them to go through Will in the offense.
Scottie Pippen down inside to Krystoniak. The Bills 2-0. And the Chicago Bulls go to the replacement for Horace Grant. Larry Krystoniak early. Bogues with the drive. Burrell with a lay-in.
See, that's going to be a nightmare for B.J. Armstrong. Not being able to put your hands at all down on Muggsy Bogues. He's going to have to do the best he can containing him, trying to keep him out of the lane.
Scottie Pippen out on the wing. Remember the new hand-checking rules.
And there you see it right there. Did not take long. Now, Bob, I was in Mexico City last week, and in the second half, the players did a better job adjusting. The first half, there were more whistles, and I think that has been really the trend all of the preseason.
First 30 seconds of the NBA season on TNT. We get another call very quickly. Another hand-checking call. And that's 2 on Larry Johnson in less than a minute. That is the significant difference in the way that new rule is going to be called this year. It will really make a difference in games.
That was Larry Johnson's second foul already?
In less than a minute.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you can see that Larry Johnson looks really big. He's not in any kind of playing shape, I don't think, at all right now.
Ron Harper, new Bull, misses the layup. Perdue with the rebound, back up strong. Doesn't fall. Bogues splits the defenders.
See, you can't put your hands down on him, so he's going to just take the ball right at B.J. Armstrong. I think you're going to see more double teaming out on the floor than you've seen in recent past.
Muggsy Bogues, shortest man in the NBA at 5'3". Armstrong from the perimeter.
That's where B.J. has been very effective. Coming off screens, Muggsy Bogues, terrific on the ball defender, but you can screen him.
Tied at 4. Robert Parrish goes to the left hand. 3-second call, which is something else that will be called more carefully this year, we understand.
You see Muggsy Bogues taking the ball right to B.J. and Scottie Pippen. Neither one of them closed down the gap, and Muggsy right all the way to the basket for the layup.
You may notice a haze in here. There were fireworks at the introduction of the team. We've got the hand-checking call this time on Muggsy Bogues, who's saying, no, I used my forearm. Bill Oakes didn't see it that way.
I tell you what's going to happen here early in the season, too, is free throw shooting is going to play a major key in a lot of these games. Charlotte, 3 team fouls. We've only played a minute and a half, so 2 more fouls, and the Bulls will be in the penalty the rest of the quarter.
Tied at 4. Pippen defended by Robert Parrish from Boston to Charlotte.
There's 4.
Stripped up the ball, and that's 4 quick fouls, and 2 fouls on Bogues and 2 on Larry Johnson, and we have played just a half in this game.
I'm surprised Alan Bristow will not go to the bench, maybe bring in Michael Adams. He's got 2 starters now in a minute and a half that have 2 fouls each, and he's yet to substitute.
Ron Harper off the curl.
Ron Harper has really struggled in the preseason getting adjusted to this triangle offense. He's not a great jump shooter, so he must get to the basket to get some easy scores. Shot 31% in the preseason.
Illegal defense. We've had a little bit of all the rules called already.
Well, let's talk about the three-point line. 22 feet as opposed to 23.9. We've seen the stricter enforcement of the hand-checking rule, and the illegal defense. There's no longer the little gap that you have, the 2.9 to fake the double team. Now you must go double team immediately. You cannot straddle the free throw line or it will be an illegal defense.
If you understand that, then you are a hoops junkie. That foul on B.J. Armstrong. You do know basketball and are capable to get a coaching license.
Yes.
I mentioned there's still a haze in this new United Center because they've shot off fireworks here at the introduction, and the air conditioning system hasn't cleared out the smoke yet.
It just doesn't seem the same being in here. I know this is a great building, but all my memories are at Chicago Stadium.
Oh, aren't they ever? Larry Johnson gets the pass inside. Likewise with myself. Beautiful place, though. 20,500 seats, over 200 luxury boxes. Stoliak left-handed hook in the paint, and Larry has 4 points early. Larry Johnson against Stoliak. Now Johnson showing some quickness on his moves. Looks like his back's okay. Remember, the thing this year in the preseason was that they thought he had a stress fracture of his leg. Turned out to be just a minor injury, and he's back. But as you pointed out, he is not in basketball shape yet. Not
at all. And what happens, Bob, is you start overcompensating for an injury, and a lot of times you'll injure a foot or whatever. I think that's what happened with his back. Now we see right now the 15th foul. Scottie Pippen will go to the line. So in the last 9 minutes and 11 seconds, Chicago will shoot free throws the rest of the quarter. Now that's good news. The bad news is that in the preseason, the Bulls shot 69% from the free throw line. So they must do a better job here converting on their free throw line.
Scottie Pippen, when you were coaching him when he first came into the league, just couldn't shoot free throws. He's improved a great deal since then.
Well, you see Scottie Pippen, he's a candidate, my candidate for the most valuable player this year. I thought that he was right on par with David Robinson and Elijah Wan last year. Carried this team in a lot of different ways. He's a terrific all-round player, and I think the premier perimeter player in the game today.
Bulls with a 2-point lead, 9:09 to go in quarter number 1. Charlotte Hornets in their new purple road uniforms. Bogues all the way, deflected out of bounds by Chicago. 15 on the shot clock. Chicago Bulls, Purdue at center, Krzyzewski at power forward. Pippen, Ron Harper, and B.J. Armstrong in the starting lineup. Percy Hawkins on the drive. Purdue changed the shot. Lost out of bounds off Krzyzewski.
You know, Bob, another thing I think we're going to see a lot in this season is you're going to see a lot more dribble penetration than you've seen in the past. Guys are going to keep the dribble because they understand now that any hand check would be a foul. So why not put the ball on the floor, put the onus on the official, or put the pressure on the defense to try to contain you with your feet?
Robert Parrish, that little short turnaround, but he's fouled. Krzyzewski came over to help. And he's called for the personal, his first of the ball game. Krzyzewski, who's had knee injury problems his entire career. This is his 4th team he's played with.
He was playing terrific basketball in Milwaukee, and in the playoffs, the one game, I remember him driving the lane, and he blew out his knee, and he really never has been the same player. He's not been able to get healthy, but he's worked so very hard to get back to this stage, and he and Dickie Simpkins and Corey Blunt, Bill Winnington are going to be counted upon to man that power forward position that was left by Horace Grant.
Robert Parrish, 41 years old. He's older than his coach.
Well, he just became a grandpa, so he's grandpa, and we got grandmama out on the same team. And I'm sitting by a guy who's going to be a grandpa here pretty soon, but who is not playing.
El Abuelo. Purdue looking for the entry pass, deflected by the Charlotte Hornets. The Bulls up by 1, 8:27 to go, first quarter.
See how he's getting in the lane, that penetration right there. Muggsy Bogues will be as good as anybody in the league. He's 5'3". You cannot get down and contain him. When he gets inside there, that little jump shot's going to be there on the penetrating pass.
Robert Parrish got the basket there. Inside to Purdue. Pass from Ron Harper. Bulls by 1. Alan Bristow told me that the best player for the Charlotte Hornets in the preseason, the best player, was Robert Parrish. Pippen gets the steal and the jam. The Bulls go up by 3.
baseline spot.
Burrell back in strong. Purdue with a big strong board. Out to Pippen on the run. Krzysztofiak. The Bulls by 5. To go first quarter. Muggsy Bogues, one of the quickest point guards, and if he gets a little tired, they bring in this year Michael Adams.
Yeah, he will definitely keep the pace of the game up. Last year when they went to the bench, the game slowed a little bit. Tony Bennett, an excellent shooter, but not the speed to push the ball up the floor.
3 seconds to shoot. Harper with the steal. Nice save. B.J. Armstrong all the way alone underneath. Krzysztofiak handed the ball from B.J. Armstrong.
Now that was a great play by B.J. Armstrong. A very unselfish play. He had the layup and rewarded Larry Krzysztofiak. That was great.
8 straight points from Chicago.
What if the Cat in the Hat?
Bulls have scored 8 straight points. They have opened up the floor, Doug.
The presence or the lack of inside defense by Charlotte. This is where you miss Alonzo Mourning. Slow in the rotation. Larry Johnson does not get there. Robert Parrish helps. No one helps him. And then Pippen with the steal. Scottie Pippen, one of the league leaders in steals. And then the layup by Larry Krzysztofiak to follow that up. He's 4 for 4 in his debut. 8 points. 3 layups here to start this quarter.
Percy Hawkins, offensive foul called against Robert Parrish.
That's another thing that they're going to watch this year is the illegal screening. You cannot move your leg, your arm. You cannot get into an unnatural screening position. So, Bob, we've run the gamut here in about 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Kind of a clinic.
This is the film that they sent around to the league here to show what they've done. So.
Misses the short jumper, and Bogues has the Hornets running. Hornets want to run. They're an active team. They play that passing game offense.
Percy Hawkins been very quiet. They need to get him some shots. Last year he got lost in his passing game as we see Scotty Burrell bury the little medium range jump shot.
Krzysztofiak into Purdue. Offensive foul on Will Purdue. We have 5:49 to go in the first quarter. Bulls are up by 5. That's the first on Will. Scott Burrell to Muggsy Bogues, defended by B.J. Armstrong. Spinning into the paint. Double clutch action. Purdue saves it. Armstrong with the penetration. No question, Doug, we are seeing more penetration. The quick point guards are going to love this. And how many point guards aren't quick?
Yes, and what it does, too, it enables you to get in the lane. This is going to improve the scoring. Muggsy Bogues over the quick little jump shot. Really, that's not the shot you'd like to see him take. And the Bulls are going to run on every occasion.
Pippen finds Armstrong for 3, missing from 22 feet over the top. It'll be Charlotte ball with the Bulls up by 7. 5:08 to go in the first quarter. And the Bulls with substitutions. Tony Kukoc comes in with Greg Foster as Harper and Purdue rest. Greg Foster, new addition to the Bulls, and Kukoc is going to be a big factor for the Bulls this year, even though he is not starting.
Well, I think it's important for Tony to realize what he can bring to this team coming off the bench. You're going to see him handle the ball a lot, especially when Scottie Pippen sits down. A little half-court trap by the Bulls.
Kenny Gaddison is in for Charlotte. He wears number 44. So he came in for Larry Johnson, who is not in prime NBA basketball playing shape.
He's had 2 practices, and you know what happens? He's practiced just enough to be sore. And that's, you know, he'd probably been better off by not practicing at all and coming out playing. But I really can't run that risk when a guy's been injured.
There's the double team inside to Kenny Gaddison over Foster. Burrell missing the stick back attempt.
One of the things that the Bulls are going to have to do this year is going to be their Achilles heel. It's going to be their rebounding.
Offensive foul on Parrish. That's 2.
Bob, one of the things that Chicago has always done well is rebound the ball. Last year, +3 rebounding differential. They gave up the fewest rebounds of anybody in the NBA, both on the offensive boards and total. That will be the determining factor in how good this team can be.
Hornets have turned it over 5 times. Pippen on the drive to Foster on the baseline. Nothing but air. Bogues. Hawkins hammered as he drives.
You can could just see Scottie Pippen. He was playing him defensively on the wing. I think that's going to be the toughest place to defend an offensive player. Is watch Pippen's reaction here as Hersey Hawkins puts it on the floor. He wants to reach out and touch him with his hands, and he can't. He has to open up, and that's where you've got to have shot blockers and guys that will rotate over and force that man to make the pass.
Scottie Pippen unusually going out quite early in this ball game as JoJo English comes in. The Bulls now have Armstrong, JoJo English, Tony Kukoc, Larry Krystkowiak, and Greg Foster. These fellas are going to have to introduce themselves to each other.
Well, you've got Tony and BJ on the floor. They're going to have to handle the ball right now because JoJo played a little bit last season. Larry Krystkowiak is new. So is Greg Foster. So BJ and Tony must be the leaders as they run their offense.
Foster in his 6th year in the NBA from Texas, El Paso originally. And JoJo English out of South Carolina in his 4th year. He's 6'4", 195.
I think he's most remembered for his little skirmish with Derek Harper last year in the playoffs that almost cost the Knicks a chance to advance into the finals.
JoJo English. Kukoc, 5 on the shot clock, give and go. Fouls called against the Charlotte Hornets. They'll keep it on this end.
Bob, one thing I noticed about Charlotte, look at the size of their team out there right now. They really have 4 guards. They have Hersey Hawkins, Del Curry, Muggsy Bogues, Burrell, and Kenny Gaddison who's a forward. They have no big people on the floor at all. They have no inside shot blocking, and their rebounding is going to be very suspect. So what they have to do with this unit is hope that they can get out and run and get some easy scores. Otherwise, Chicago should overpower them with Kukoc, Krystkowiak, and Foster inside.
I will say this, Charlotte is now getting bigger as they take out the 5'3" Muggsy Bogues and bring in the 5'10" Michael Adams.
Yes, and what this is going to do also, too, is Michael Adams, as we've talked about, is a guy that loves to shoot the three-point shot. He's 3rd all-time in the NBA, and I think what he will do is he will give them a little bit more offensive presence than what Muggsy does. Don't be surprised if you see him late in games out on the floor because he's a better shooter.
Well, he's a former NBA All-Star, and out on the break, he scores early. Michael Adams from Boston College.
Michael Adams goes back to his Denver days with Bill Hanslick and Alan Bristol, so they've known each other for a long, long time.
He loves that new 22-foot three-point line, he told me just before the game. Corey Blunt is checked in from Chicago. Kukoc kicks it to Foster. 8 on the shot clock.
Foster very active here, looking for his shot.
There's Blunt. Playing like a power forward, which is what they hope they'll do.
See, Charlotte can't get a rebound.
Corey Blunt had a very difficult preseason. Bulls had expected more out of him in his 2nd year.
You got some shooters now. Hawkins, Curry,
and Burrell with the jam.
With Duncan Adams. You've got 3 prolific three-point shooters. Look at this lineup now that Charlotte's got on the floor. Alan Bristow loves to mix and match. He's going to force Phil Jackson to take a timeout and talk about it a little bit.
Bulls lead has been cut to 3 with 3 minutes, 3 seconds to go in the 1st quarter.
Right now.
Alan Bristow, and on his right you see John Bach, a new assistant coach with Charlotte, formerly of the Bulls. And speaking of Charlotte, here's what happened last year. They just missed the playoffs as they went 8-1 down the stretch.
Yes, I think the one thing that stands out to me is in the scoring differential. They gave up 106 points a game, and in the 6 years that Charlotte has been in existence, they have never had a positive point differential. So their opponents have outscored them every year. Very difficult to go very far like that in the playoffs.
JoJo English being defended by Michael Adams. English using the height advantage, missing the jumper, kept alive by Hawkins, saved by Blunt.
When you go small, you've got to get 5 people on the boards, and right now Charlotte's leaking out trying to run. Bulls have missed 6 straight shots after shooting 8 for 12 when they were running, so they got to finally on the 2nd shot opportunity they were able to get a score.
Curry with the turnover. Charlotte 6th in this game. 2:34 to go 1st quarter. Bulls 22-17. Steve Kerr, who just signed a new deal with the Bulls, is on the floor at the guard position, number 25. He loves this reduced three-point line also. Foster backing in.
So you're going to have to double team inferior players. You saw Greg Foster get double teamed. That's going to open something up for someone. I mean, a turnover.
Well, once the players adjust, the league's expecting a lot more offense this year.
Scott Burrell looks very, very good. Last year he was in and out. He was injured. A lot of people questioned how good he wanted to be, how hard he wanted to work. He looks very good and could be a real key for them at the small forward position.
Alan Bristow told me he didn't think Burrell had a very good preseason, but he still wants him to be the starter, and he wants him to perform. Burrell, by the way, has 8.
Remember when he was at Connecticut, a lot of people thought he might go play pro baseball. I guess he was a terrific baseball prospect, decided to go basketball, and now has an opportunity in Charlotte to get some heavy minutes.
Must have been a pitcher at his size.
Odell Curry, you don't want to get this guy hot. How many times have we seen him through the years get hot and throw up 5-6 3-point shots in a game?
22-22. We're tied. The low-scoring first quarter, minute and a half to go. 9 on the shot clock. JoJo English picked up the foul just a moment ago, by the way. Dumps it inside to Kukoc. Whirling Dervish to Foster. Wasn't ready for it. The foul on Charlotte.
Tony Kukoc is a terrific passer and a very unselfish player. And when I look out at him this year, his body looks so much better. He looks leaner. It looks like he's dropped about 10 or 15 pounds. I think he ran more in the offseason. He bulked up a little bit too much last year. They tried to get him so strong, so quick, that he really didn't play much, and he really worked on his strength. He really suffered, I thought, last year. And with Michael leaving, so much pressure was placed on his shoulders. I think he's going to have a very good year. I gave Scottie Pippen a quick test right before the game. I says, quick, Scottie, 2 seconds left in the game. Who takes the key shot, you or Tony Kukoc? Phil might put Greg Foster in to take it. He's done some silly things like that before, so you just never know with him. Scottie didn't think that was that funny. You know what happened this year with 1.9 seconds to go in an exhibition game? Phil called timeout and put Scottie in to throw the ball in. I think it sort of broke the tension. Michael Adams on the drive, blocked by Pippen, but first the foul. This is the guy that I'm looking forward to seeing right now. Dickey Simpkins out of Providence. He was their first-round pick. Has played very, very well in preseason. Big, strong player. Aggressive, long arms. I think that this young man, before the season's over, could be their starting power forward. I think they really like him here. This is a big man you're looking at. A big young man. 6'10", 250 pounds. They hope he'll be the banger that Charles Oakley was. He is definitely a guy that can give them a physical presence. One of the things that the Bulls are going to miss this year is the presence of guys like Scott Williams, Bill Cartwright, Horace Grant, guys who are tenacious inside defenders. When you look at their team right now, other than maybe a Larry Krystkowiak, they really don't have that power banger inside. That's an area that they must get better. David Wingate now in the ball game. He'll be defending Pippen for the remainder of this minute 10 seconds of the first period, and the Hornets have regained the lead 24-23. Steve Kerr, who the foul was called on.
Well, you called that last time. Set the pick.
Here's Dickey Simpkins. Power move inside. They're waving it away and calling it for the travel. That call from Ronnie Nunn. Look very aggressive, making that move. Looks like he can put the ball on the floor a little bit. Looks like he can move bodies. Michael Adams. See, little guys getting in the lane like this is going to be a nightmare this season. You must be able to stop penetration. JoJo English kicks it to Kerr, but right in his face is Adams. Pass inside intended for Kukoc. Broken up by Burrell to Gaddison, out to Wingate. Burrell loses it out of bounds. You know, Bob, one of the things I'd like to talk about is defense. With no hand checking now, what players must learn to do is pick angles to cut people off. They might not be able to reach out and touch, but they can pick a different angle. Now, you might give up some jump shots, but you've got to play to keep people from getting by you and compromising your defense. 2-second difference in the shot clock and the game clock. Winding down final moments of quarter number 1. Steve Kerr just pulls up and launches a brick. Curry with 2 seconds. Be good if it goes. It doesn't. But the Hornets regain the lead here, 24-23. And there's only been a few more points scored than fouls committed in this first quarter. A total of 15 fouls called in this quarter. Larry Krystkowiak, the replacement for Horace Grant, has a good quarter. 4 out of 4 for 8 points. Just outside the entrance to the new United Center here on West Madison Street, Chicago, is the Michael Jordan statue. Inside, the Michael Jordan retired number 23. Michael came in on Tuesday night for a big gala Hollywood-like celebration. much unlike something you'd normally see in Chicago here at the new United Center. Had 20,000 people in here for that little show.
Well, as we look at the first quarter statistics, one of the things that jumps out, the Bulls 9 of 21 for 43%. They missed 8 of their last 9, but when Phil went to his bench, the bench shot 1 for 8. So that's where the disparity in the numbers, actually, they were well over 50% with the starters.
Michael Adams has it broken up. That was Nicky Simpkins who broke it up. Here's Kukoc on the run.
It's 8 turnovers now for Charlotte.
Offensive foul. Called on JoJo English. JoJo's in an oversized uniform here tonight. He looks like he's either lost weight or his uniform doesn't fit.
We talk about the three-point line being closer this year. In that first quarter, you talk about 2 teams who really utilized only 4 attempts. There's number 5 right there, and Del Curry has both of the makes. They're now 2 for 3. Del Curry, I'm telling you, you don't want to let that guy get off. He is such a quick release coming off those screens.
NBA 6th man of the year last year. Kukoc just inside the three-point line. Can't get it to go, but Gaddison. Tough bounce, out of bounds off of Scottie Pippen. It'll be Charlotte ball. And the Hornets have built a 4-point lead, 27-23. The Bulls have been up by as many as 7, and the Hornets now up by 4, their biggest lead of the game.
And one of the things this new Chicago Arena United Center, they do not have the kind rims the stadium used to have. They used to have great rims. I don't like these shooting rims at all. Too tight.
You would. Kukoc to Pippen. No-look pass broken up, intended for Simpkins. Back comes Curry. Good transition defense by Kukoc there. Out of the corner, Michael Adams. That's a 3 for Michael. He has 7 points off the bench.
All you need to do is talk about something and start happening. He says 2 quick three-pointers. I just said that they weren't utilizing it much. So.
The Bulls in the preseason in '93 shot about 6 3-point attempts a game. This year they've been taking 14 a game.
See, Curry was in mode there too, so.
He was. 3-second violation.
You know what I've noticed in the 2 games that I've done now is it's been games of spurts. We were in Mexico City in the San Antonio-Houston game last week, and it was an 8-0 spurt, a 10-2 spurt, a 9-1 spurt. And tonight it's been that way also. Charlotte with a little run. Chicago came back, and now Charlotte once again on the attack.
Larry Johnson back in, hard to the hoop, and Brent Lamar gets the lay-in on the reverse. Larry Johnson, and Charlotte is now on a 15-1 run, and it's going to be 17-1 with the steal and the lay-in by Del Curry, and it is an 11-point Hornet game as they extend the defense.
See, really no true ball handler in the game other than Scottie Pippen right now. This is the difference in this team. We've got Kukoc who can handle it, but for the most part, see Scottie in the lane with the offensive foul. But teams are going to take advantage of extending their defense against the Bulls a little bit more if only Scottie's going to handle the ball.
Pippen's first personal foul. The Bulls have 11 turnovers. They've committed 5 this quarter in 2.5 minutes. Adams lightning quick. Boy, the combination of being able to come in 1-2 with Bogues and Adams is going to cause problems. Wingate, bad pass intended for Larry Johnson, who didn't even see it. Here comes Kerr. The pull-up for 15.
Steve Kerr is just starting to get his legs back. The 2-a-day practice has really wiped him out. He did not shoot well early, but now he's starting to get his shooting touch back up to about 43% in preseason, but he really struggled about the first 4 or 5 games.
It took Chicago nearly 6 minutes to get a field goal. That was their first hoop in the last 5 minutes and 50 seconds, and now Charlotte with another turnover, and the Bulls will inbound it as Ron Harper is back in with Kerr, Kukoc, Scottie Pippen, and Nicky Simpkins. 21 turnovers in this game already. Well, it's the beginning of the season. New rules, new adjustment, new players, new faces. Pippen.
Tough matchup for David Wingate. Scottie Pippen at 6'8" with a long arm. Wingate at about 6'5", so if they let him post, they're going to have to come back and give him some help.
Pippen's averaging less than 20 points a game in the preseason, but he wasn't playing all that much. Pippen with the block shot. Simpkins back to him. I like Nicky Simpkins' activity early, the rookie. Pippen from downtown. Kukoc bothered Adams. Then bullet pass went out of bounds, intended for Simpkins.
Here's the post-up of Scottie Pippen. See, they clear weak side, nobody on the backside to help, and David Wingate just mismatched inside with his size.
We have a timeout for Charlotte wearing their new purple road uniforms. The Hornets up on the Bulls 34-27.
When the sun goes down, TNT is gonna heat up the night.
Now, what do you do on the road?
Oh, man, you don't drive on it. Delivery boys drive on it. I take the Volkswagen Golf. It hugs it. It caresses it. It takes it out for dinner, and then it calls it back the next day. All with a Medtronic tuned engine that puts it in a class all on its own. I'm talking about German engineering. I'm talking safety. I'm through talking.
Maybe it's because their frames are welded instead of bolted. Or because their decks are stamped from a single piece of steel. Or maybe it's the fact that they have the highest resale value in the industry.
Oh, hey, I always wanted one of these.
But the truth is, when people are asked what kind of lawn tractor they'd like as a gift,
Happy birthday, Dad.
most say the same thing.
Now through February, buy any John Deere mower with 10% down, no payments till March 95 at James Sanders Nursery in Paducah. Here's another Super Value Foods Price Buster. USDA Choice Beef Boneless Center Cut Round Steak, just $1.65 a pound. Quality meats and super service every day at Super Value Foods, Jackson Street and Lone Oak Road.
Provide life-saving information in an emergency. To learn more, ask your pharmacist or call 1-800-ID-ALERT. That's 1-800-ID-ALERT.
Well, the Chicago Bulls without Horace Grant and his 11 rebounds a game. He's in Orlando now. We asked Scottie Pippen, what's life like without Horace?
We've seen guys come and go here, and you know, we realize that's an opportunity for a lot of new guys or some other guy to step up. It's going to be a lot of time shared between Dickie Simpkins, Corey Blunt, and Larry Kosoviak, and you know, we feel like with those three guys, they're not going to be as good as Horace at that position, but as long as they can stay consistent and stay stable, then we'll be fine in that position.
All three of them have played, Kosoviak, Simpkins, and Blunt so far. Kosoviak with 8 points there.
I think Ron Harper is going to get called with a foul on Del Curry. And you talk about bench production. Curry and Adams have combined for 15 points. Curry 8 points in 8 minutes. Adams 7 points in 8 minutes. So one of the things that Charlotte's always been able to do is score points. And I've said all along that the key for them to going any further in the playoffs, Bob, is going to be their interior defense, their commitment to rebounding, and their ability to stop other teams in the last 5-6 minutes of the game.
Wingate. Rebound Tony Kukoc. Bulls with a small lineup on the floor now to match with Charlotte's. No true center in the game for either team. Kenny Gaddison. Curry inside to Larry Johnson. Nice pass from Del Curry.
See, Tony Kukoc that time made the turnover, and what he did, he tried to get the ball back, and he did not play his own man. He left Larry Johnson wide open to get the easy layup. That's where Tony, after the turnover, is going to come back and just get his man.
Corey Blunt getting ready to come back in, as is Will Perdue. Curry's second person.
See, Tony Kukoc out chasing the ball. Curry, his man actually is Larry Johnson. He forces Scottie Pippen to come back to get him, and he just cannot get there soon enough. So that's when you compound a mistake, a bad play, by making another one.
Kukoc and Kerr sit down. Perdue and Armstrong come in for Chicago. Percy Hawkins back in action now for the Charlotte Hornets. Gaddison at center for Charlotte. Look at the turnovers, the points off turnovers there tonight. 19. Hornets by 9, 7:30 to go, first half.
Nice help there by Gaddison to shut down Harper,
who just stayed with it and gets the jump hook to fall. Harper's first basket of the game. He is 1 for 4. Percy Hawkins, nice pass inside to Gaddison.
Another turnover here by the Bulls. A careless inbound pass, and it costs them 3 points. Marshall Adams with a steal. Adams now with his second three-point shot.
Pippen handling it now. This full-court pressure by Charlotte has caused the Bulls some problems, and the Hornets are up by 11. Perdue.
Yeah, let's go.
Make that 12. The Bulls, the Hornets 41, Bulls 29.
See, the one thing about Charlotte, though, they'll give you points back. So what you have to do is you have to gear up your defense, and you have to get good shots. I think the Bulls have been totally out of sync in their offense, and I think a lot of that is because of their new faces And he puts so much pressure on BJ and Scottie Pippen to be able to run this offense. Right now, it's not running smoothly.
9 turnovers this quarter, 15 in the game for Chicago. And the brand new building doesn't help them.
No, it's not. This is an acclimation period in a lot of different ways.
David Wingate kicks out to Hawkins.
See the guys' dribble penetration, though. See all the driving to the basket. I did not see that much that last year because guys were able to use their hands and move players on the floor. Bob, right now, they're spacing the floor and they're driving the ball into gaps, a lot like you see in college basketball, that will free up three-point shot opportunities once the defense collapses.
Foul is on Pippen. He has 2 now. Remember, Larry Johnson got 2 fouls in the first 30 seconds of the game. Wingate misses from 3. It looks a lot closer from that 22-point line down inside. That's Harper to Purdue. Will has 4. 10-point Hornets lead.
Looks like Corey Blunt twisted an ankle in the post. Larry Johnson just sort of manhandled him.
Blunt back up quickly. Unkind rim. Harper for Chicago.
Ron Harper does not have that quickness right now. He normally would blow right past Percy Hawkins. He does not have that quick burst.
Purdue sets the screen. Pippen goes the other way and gets the jam. Pippen with 8. 6 in the quarter.
If Charlotte does not score on this possession and the Bulls do, I would take a quick timeout. I guess we don't have to worry about that. The old fadeaway by Robert Parrish. We've seen that now for about 19 years.
He's in great shape. They're playing him 24, 26 minutes a game in a preseason. He may play 30, 35 minutes tonight with Alonzo Mourning out. Pippen drops the 3. He has 11 now. That's the first Bulls three-pointer of the game.
Scotty's going to have to take more of the scoring on his shoulders right now, both he and B.J. Armstrong, to get them back into this game here before halftime. They're only trailing now by 7.
Ron Harper been very active. He gets that rebound, kind of running the show now.
Looks like he's gimping when he runs a little bit. I don't think his legs are under him right now.
Doesn't get the roll. Corey Blunt runs it down. 7th year from Cincinnati.
Offensive rebounds, that's really been the disaster for the Charlotte Hornets over the last couple seasons.
Harper, 4-3. Blunt.
How about another offensive rebound?
Purdue over the back. That'll be a loose ball on Will Purdue. Don't forget, at the conclusion of tonight's game, Doug and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. Corey Blunt keeps offensively rebounding like this. He's a candidate.
Yeah, he's got to convert, though. Right now, he has the 5 offensive rebounds, but only has 1 field goal. So you've got to start converting some of those for points.
Struggling with his shooting all during the preseason. Michael Adams has stayed on the floor a long time because he's been hot when he came in for Bogues. That's going to be a minutes problem for Alan Bristow. 3-second violation.
Yes, it is. And you know, and Alan knows that a little bit, but he's hoping that both Muggsy and Michael Adams will be able to coexist minutes-wise. Muggsy's always played about 35 minutes a game. And if Muggsy will accept the fact that this will lengthen his career and also help the team, I think that he'll be able to do that.
He's about to come in now, speaking of Muggsy Bogues. 43-36 Charlotte, 4:05 to go first half. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you. Season opener on TNT.
I think Scottie Pippen wants to post against Wingate. Let's see if they can get him the ball.
Got a double team. Tried to get it to Blunt. Broken up. Nice defense by Charlotte. Here comes Adams. He is lightning. Good passer. Wingate kicks it out. Percy Hawkins. Purdue to Pippen.
Percy never really had good grip on that when we let that one go.
Pippen misses from long range. Loose ball foul. This time it's going to be on Charlotte.
Charlotte they just cannot defensive rebound the ball. You've got Will Purdue active, Pippen, Corey Blunt around the offensive boards. Robert Parrish trying to do his share, but Larry Johnson has got to get back on the boards, as does Hersey Hawkins and Scotty Burrell. Again, Bobby, talk about you must get 5 guys rebounding when you're not a good rebounding team. When you like to run, you leak out and you think about fast breaking before you get the ball.
Pippen down to Purdue and back out for the 3. Run down by Harper.
Another offensive rebound. See, this just kills your defense. It makes you stay down here for anywhere from 24 to 48 seconds.
Purdue back to Harper. Purdue with the loose ball.
Another offensive. Here's another offensive.
Blocked, but they're going to call goaltending. Count the basket.
Bulls got 6 shots at the basket before the goaltend. All you have to do is look over Alonzo Mourning on the bench and say, when we get this guy back, hopefully things will change.
Yeah, Will Perdue with 6 points in this game. And speaking of Perdue, he's been relatively productive in the preseason. Perdue, playing 18 minutes a game, has been scoring 8.5 points and rebounding 5.5. And that's not bad. And he's the 3rd center on this Bulls team.
Charlotte's leading by 5 and being out-rebounded 22-10. It's the turnovers by Chicago that's got them in trouble, and the non-rebounding on the defensive boards by Charlotte that's allowed Chicago to stay close.
Bulls fans, it's now time.
Before the timeout, there was a foul called on Ron Harper. The Bulls now have pulled to within 5 with 2:54 to go in the first half of play. Bulls offensively rebounding very well, but not getting a lot of points off of them so far.
Well, look at this. 3 offensive rebounds for the Hornets. It's led to 9 points, and 10 offensive rebounds to only 6 for the Bulls. So the fact that they've been able to get to the boards, they've not converted. So they must do a better job, because right now their turnovers have been so high here in this first half.
Perdue and Blunt, Harper, Armstrong, and Pippen on the floor for Chicago. Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, Scott Burrell, Hersey Hawkins, and the Chief for Charlotte. Bogues' penetration, the dish to Larry Johnson. Pippen stripped away by Burrell, who misses the intended bounce off. Blunt, big jam from Scottie Pippen. Blunt with a monster jam from Pippen.
Game of spurts. It's now Chicago on the run, trailing by only 3.
Chicago on a 6-0 run. That was blocked by Blunt. Kept alive by Perdue. Back inside Hawkins, stripped by Armstrong. Intense interior defense by the Bulls. Pippen isolated against Larry Johnson inside. Missed the short jump. Bulls within 3.
3 seconds once again. I think 1 extra pass.
You bet. Here's the dish from Pippen and the slam by Corey Blunt.
Scottie Pippen does this beautifully. Keeps his dribble just the right time. He times this up nice. Corey Blunt with a strong finish. And we've seen this from Horace Grant. This is one of Horace Grant's specialty. 4th man down running on the break usually can be the most lethal guy, because you'll cover the other 2 players who are running on the lane.
Corey sits down, and Tony Kukoc checks back in for Chicago. Kukoc has yet to score in this game. The Bulls have pulled to within 3. Charlotte had led by as many as 12.
See, Hersey Hawkins has been very quiet tonight. He has only 2 points. He's had 4 or 5 opportunities around the basket that have been stripped at the last moment. He's 0 for 4.
10 on the shot clock for Chicago. Illegal defense called against Charlotte. That's the first call of the game against the Hornets. Kenny Gaddison coming back in for Charlotte. 1:39 to go in the first half. A lot of adjustments for all these NBA teams to be making here early in the season, with a new emphasis on certain penalty calls and some rules changes and a lot of new faces. Harper for 3. Kukoc kept it alive.
Ron Harper shooting almost a knuckleball up there. No rotation on his shot. Again, he's a slasher and cutter. It's going to be the foul on Muggsy Bogues. That's where he really struggled last year. B.J. Armstrong posted him up in the first game of the season at 28 points.
Speaking of Harper, he's 1 for 8 tonight, and Bogues will sit out, and Michael Adams is back in as Bogues has 3.
I have felt that all along that for Ron Harper to be really successful with this Bulls team, they're going to have to run and get him into the open court. That's really when he was at his best at Cleveland. You can see right now if they make him be jump shooting a lot, he's going to have some difficulties.
Perdue hands it to Pippen, knocked out of bounds by Charlotte. Now, Phil Jackson told me that Ron Harper has not adjusted well to the triple post offense at all. He says he just has not made the adjustment. Lob into Harper. Perdue got the loose ball and the big jam. Perdue has 8 first half points.
It's good to see Will Perdue have some success. He's worked so hard in the offseason, and now he's being rewarded with some early playing time, a lot due to injury, but also the fact that he's earned this position.
In addition to 8 points, he has 7 rebounds. defensive basket interference. Count the hoop. 45-42 Hornets. Coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report, Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. The NBA's VP of Operations, Rod Thorne, will review the NBA's new rule changes. We've seen the clinic here in the first half. Also scores and highlights from around the league, including Knicks, Celtics, Pacers, Hawks on the Reebok halftime report. B.J. Armstrong, that's a two. He stepped on the line.
B.J. shooting the ball so confidently, and Ron Harper made the extra pass to free B.J. up after the double team in the post on Pippen.
Hornets led by 12. Now the lead cut to only 1. Burrell open from long range. Larry Johnson spins inside Kukoc. Ron Harper is there.
He's done a nice job on the boards, Harper has. He's come back and probably got 3 or 4 rebounds.
6 total in this first half.
Well, that's a nice job. You get your big guard back getting 6 rebounds. You're doing a good job.
It's a 1-point game with 14.6 seconds remaining in the first half. And the Bulls call their timeout. And Ron Harper was so happy, in his words, to be rescued from the Clippers to come to the Chicago Bulls. And he's been active, even though he's struggling with his offensive game.
It's important that you must play both ends of the floor if you're not scoring, and Ron Harper is doing that. He's done a good job on Hersey Hawkins, who's only at 1 field goal. He has 6 rebounds.
Let's look back to the Bulls last year. The Bulls had, remember, without Michael, 55 wins last year.
Yeah, and you did it on the strength of their defense. Gave up only 95 points a game. In fact, they were second behind the New York Knicks. They held their opponents under 100 points 60 times. Problem is they had trouble scoring 98 points, which is down 10 points from the era of Michael Jordan when they won the 3 championships. They averaged 108 points a game.
14.5 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Bulls will inbound. The shot clock is off.
Bob, we talk about the adjustment of the players. In the first quarter, there were 15 fouls called. In the second quarter, only 9. So we can see that as the game goes on, the players get used to the way the whistles are going to be blown. And I think that that's what you're going to see throughout the league all season long, specifically in this first 3-4 weeks.
I am all for the changes. I believe they're going to bring back the skill to basketball.
Absolutely. You know, strength should never negate skill.
Got to remember that. Pippen. Jump hook inside. The Bulls have regained the lead. Caught it and then lost it. It would have been out of bounds, Bulls ball, but Kerr hustling for it. 6.6 to go. Charlotte will call timeout.
Yeah, I talked about Charlotte being a team of spurts. They had the nice run defensively where they forced turnovers. They got out and ran. As the Bulls stopped turning the ball over, Charlotte has had a difficult time scoring, and their rebounding has really been a Achilles heel for them. I said before, they've just got to do a better job, Bob, of cleaning up the board, or their offense is not going to win it for them.
Is Alan Bristow's hair getting a little gray?
Yeah, Alan is getting a little grayer.
It'll happen. Speaking of the point differential, look at this.
Well, you've seen, you know, in Allen's first year coaching, they were almost -4. The last couple years, they have come back to being close to even. But as I said before, look at their scoring, 6th, 2nd, and 4th. So their offense has not done it for them. So what they've got to be able to do now is continue to be able to push the ball up the floor and get some early offense. But they must stop the other teams. They've got to bring their field goal percentage, defense down, and the points per game down.
So far, their defense has been said in 2 words, Alonzo Mourning. He's, of course, not playing here tonight. Larry Johnson in the paint with 0.2 of a second to go gives the Hornets the halftime lead. That would not count. The Hornets, 47-46, low-scoring first half, a lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers, but already we're seeing both teams adjust as Scottie Pippen gets 9 in the second quarter and leads all scorers with 13. Ernie Johnson will be along. Well, the Hornets, with a basket there in the last second of play, take the lead, 47-46. Hornets led by as many as 12. Bulls led by as many as 7. A game of real seesaw in this first half. First of all, a lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers, Nicole, adjusting to the new rules and the new situation. But the team seemed to adjust at the second quarter and get into a little bit more rhythm as we got toward the end of the first.
Yeah, the game became much more rhythmic once, you know, the game settled in. The thing that jumps out to me is the rebounding, 26-13 for the Bulls. The turnovers, the Bulls turned over 16 times, Charlotte 13, so 29 total turnovers. When you look at the front line, though, this is the thing that amazes me. I talked about their inability to rebound. Larry Johnson, 1 defensive rebound in 18 minutes. Burrell 1 in 16, and Robert Parrish 1 in 13. So if they're going to win the game, they've got to clean that up. The Hornets bench was excellent with Curry and Adams giving them a big lift. They shot 7 for 15. The Bulls bench 3 for 12.
And that may not be the bench in terms of Adams for long. I think Alan Bristow's going to have a difficult time deciding who's going to get the major minutes and the crunch time minutes between Bogues and Michael Adams. But he could solve it, as I'm thinking out loud here with you, Doug, by continuing to start Bogues, but then using Adams in the crunch time.
Well, you know what? You'd like to have the problem of having two guys who are capable of starting. And what you'd like to then to also have is two guys who's willing to accept on a night-to-night basis whoever's going well will get the time on that particular night. You have two veteran players. If they put winning ahead of everything else, it should work itself out.
Hornets by one, 47-46. Will Perdue started at center for the Chicago Bulls. As you look at Muggsy Bogues coming out, he was carrying 3 fouls, by the way.
Yeah, I thought that the 2 quick fouls on him really took him out of the game. He really didn't get a chance to really get himself going. Hersey Hawkins 1 for 5 in the first half. Ron Harper only 1 for 8, but he had 6 assists with no turnovers, and he had 6 rebounds, so he did some other things.
Underway with Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson, Hersey Hawkins, Robert Parrish, and Scotty Burrell starting for the Charlotte Hornets. Hawkins to the chief. Parrish has it blocked by Ron Harper, and the Bulls will have Krystkowiak, Perdue, and Pippen up front with Harper and B.J. Armstrong. That is their starting lineup tonight. 7 on the shot clock. Now 4, Bogues with the penetration.
Quick drive by Muggsy Bogues, recognizing the clock was winding down, took it right to the hoop with his speed and quickness and converted.
3-point lead for Charlotte. Doug and I did the season opener last year, Chicago at Charlotte. Bulls won that one in overtime on a tip-in by Horace Grant. Scottie Pippen rolls up for the jumper and misses. Rebound. Hawkins out to Bogues.
You know, when I talked to Alan Bristow before the game, he was concerned about a third-quarter spurt by the Bulls. He said if we can handle a third-quarter surge, he thinks they can win the game.
Power of Larry Johnson. He muscled his way between the double team on the post and still got the lead. Opening moments, third quarter. Krystkowiak called for traveling. Another Chicago turnover. That's their 17th of the game. Stay with TNT for game 2 of our opening night doubleheader. We will go all the way to Yokohama, Japan. Ron Thule and Hubie Brown are out there trying to adjust to jet lag. That'll be following this game right here on TNT. Ron and Hubie are our international travelers, time zone kings. Hawkins on the drive. Foul before the pass. That's the second on Krystkowiak. Larry Krystkowiak playing at power forward, starting in place of Horace Grant, now with Orlando. You'll see Dickie Simpkins, the Bills' #1 draft choice, come in and play power forward, along with last year's #1 Bulls draft choice, Corey Blunt.
Corey Blunt had a big first half, rebounding 5 offensive rebounds as Scotty Burrell buries a 2-pointer. So Charlotte out of the gates quickly here. The Bulls still looking for their first 2 points.
Krystkowiak post up with Larry Johnson. And he gets the hook to drop.
That's twice now he's made that same move. He's 5 for 5 now from the field. He's made that little left-hand move across the lane. And Larry Johnson, you can see, is not even extending to jump with him. He's just really trying to maintain his balance and get a hand up, but that is not affecting Larry Krystkowiak at all.
9:55 to go, third quarter. They ask Burrell to go ahead and take it. Will Perdue now has 8 rebounds to go with his 8 points. Bill Winnington on the injured list. Luke Longley, the other Bulls center, is here but has a sprained ankle and will not play in this game. Purdue's been starting most of the games in the preseason. He started here tonight. Krystkowiak spinning over Larry Johnson. Perdue misses the rebound attempt. Here is Bogues on the run with Burrell and Johnson out in front.
Nice finish by Burrell. Nice pass by Larry Johnson. So the Hornets running here early in this third quarter have pushed it back up to a 7-point lead.
8-2. Hornets run this quarter.
Well, they're really going to Krystkowiak inside against Larry Johnson. I think hope maybe pick up another foul. He had 2 fouls in about a minute, or even quicker than that in the first quarter.
Yeah, in a half minute. 4 on the shot clock. Do the Bills know it? Pippen knows it. My goodness. Scottie Pippen.
He is
says hand check this.
He is such a sensational player. so many years played in the shadow of Michael Jordan. Last year really vaulted to the forefront. Unfortunate he had the incident against New York because I thought it really tainted a wonderful season for Scottie Pippen.
Muggsy Bogues missing from long range. Harper releasing quickly.
That's where Harper is at his best, leaking out in the fast break and getting the layups. That's when he was at his best in Cleveland and also with the Clippers.
With Craig Elo and Harper and Mark Price for a 3-guard rotation in Cleveland, I thought they were going to win a championship.
So did the people in Cleveland. You see what's happened with the injuries to that team. Brad Daugherty's now hurt.
Decimated. Purdue has 9 rebounds. Armstrong. He has a nice stutter move around Muggsy Bogues. Off the glass. Nice play by B.J. Armstrong, and the Bulls have pulled to within 1 point with 7:59 to go in the third. And Charlotte's going to get a 20-second timeout. The Bulls on a 6-0 run.
Nice fast break here by the Charlotte Hornets. Larry Johnson takes it to the basket. Pippen comes over, the unselfish play to Scotty Burrell. And then Scottie Pippen, recognizing the clock winding down, takes the ball to the basket. Again, no one there to be able to block shots. Scotty with a very strong finish. And then B.J. Armstrong, the little stutter dribble. You see Muggsy straighten up. And B.J. with a nice little kiss off the glass. B.J. now with 8 points. He's only taken 5 shots in the game. So I look for him to be a little more aggressive on the offensive end. They need him to throw up, 17 to 20 points, I think, to be successful on this year's team.
In the preseason, and sometimes these stats are misleading, but the Bulls had only 3 players averaging double figures. The Hornets had 8 averaging double figures.
Well, you can just see the Bulls are a team that's going to be seeking offense as the year goes on. Their defense is going to have to sustain them until guys get acclimated to running this triangle offense. A lot of new faces.
Parrish defended by Purdue. Backing in strong. Hook shot. Ball for the Chief. Oldest player in the NBA at 41. He'll be playing about probably 20 minutes a game, maybe 25 minutes when Alonzo Mourning starts at center. Sometimes I'll be playing Parrish, Mourning, and Johnson at the same time.
When he's at his best, he'll be in the last 6 minutes of the game when you can move Alonzo Mourning to the power forward position.
Bogues, what a steal. And the basket. I mean, he just completely ran around B.J. Armstrong to steal the ball out of the other end.
You can imagine what Charlotte can be like defensively with Parrish and Mourning on the floor together.
Kenny Gaddis about to win for Charlotte. Ron Harper travel. Here's his steal. Look at this quickness.
Well, he's so low, he's lower than the dribble. You can't get lower than him.
And he made him pay on the other end. Muggsy Bogues kidding with Michael Adamson. I'm trying to get him to move into my classy neighborhood in Charlotte. I live in the same neighborhood as Ric Flair, the recently retired wrestler. So I'm trying to get Michael over in the high red section. Foul on Purdue. We have a break in the action with 6:49 to go in the third quarter, and the Hornets are leading it by 3.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by GMC Truck, the street of experience.
At GMC Truck, we built a reputation for truck strengths. A considerable advantage that also comes in this handy take-home size. Sierra from GMC Truck.
True story. Yeah, me and the Warriors in the locker room skipping practice. Zoom, shooting hoop. Me and Mullen. Fast break. Me and Hardaway. Zoom, behind the back pass. Me and the boys dogging it. Zooming along, playing the game. Zoom, in walks Coach Nelson. Busted. Unplugs the game. Yo, Don, bring it back. Yo, Don, bring it back. NBA Live 95. EA Sports. It's in the game.
So, you want to know what the inside stuff is?
Check it out.
Well, inside stuff is this. This.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Even this. Plus, inside stuff's got a little of this and a lot of this. One thing's for sure. You'll know it when you see it. And you'll see inside stuff Saturday morning.
NBA Inside Stuff. Get with the program.
Well, Michael Jordan's hitting about 280 out in the Phoenix Fall League in training baseball. The Bulls have been well, and they're going now into their second year without him. And look at the difference: point totals, defense, differential, wins.
Well, I think the real dominance is point differential, and it's because the Bulls averaged 8 less points or 10 less points a game. Now their defense was better. You say why? It's because they really slowed the tempo of the game down. The field goal attempts came down. The average win went from 62 to 55. Now it's going to be life without Mike, Pax, Bill Cartwright, and Horace Grant. Wow. And we'll have to wait to see what happens as this season sort of unfolds.
And will there be a new Bulls star emerge? Armstrong and Pippen are really the stars now. That's an offensive foul against Charlotte.
You know, we really should talk about Muggsy Bogues. Michael Adams had a great second quarter, but Muggsy Bogues has come in this quarter, given the Charlotte Hornets a real spurt. In a game with 32 turnovers, Muggsy Bogues has none, and he's led the league in the last 5 of 6 years in assist-turnover ratio.
Purdue gets it off of that triple post to Scottie Pippen. Morrell fouls him, picks up his third, and Pippen will go to the free throw line. Interestingly enough, with all the fouls that were called in that first half of play, not many free throws shot.
Well, how about 12 in the first quarter by both teams? And since that point in time, in the second quarter, no free throw attempts by either team. So the fouls came down. Neither team took advantage of the early bonus situation. And that was something that I thought Chicago might really cash in on. They were shooting free throws the last 9 minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, this is the Bulls' first free throw since the first quarter. Numbers on Scottie Pippen tonight, only 2 rebounds to go to 16 points.
I think Scotty's in for a monster year. I think quietly he's dealt with the possible trade. He's dealt with the 1.8 seconds. He had a lot of little distractions last year. And I look for him to have a great season this year.
Going to be Bulls ball off the free throw miss with 6:35 to go in the third quarter. And the Bulls have pulled to within 2.
Keep coming.
3 seconds is the call against Will Purdue. And he says, I couldn't get out of the lane because Parrish was holding me.
Also, he really was out of the lane, but his 21-4A shoe was in there. So his body was out, but his foot couldn't get out.
I asked him for all his money. He's bought a new boat. He said doesn't need them with those shoes. Uses the shoes. Uses the shoes.
I got that, Bob. I was just sort of letting that one slide.
I just wouldn't do it. Burrell down to Kenny Gaddison. Over to Stoliak. Rebound for Stoliak. Armstrong running. Good transition defense by Charlotte this time down.
Something that they were not good at last year, nor were they in the preseason.
10 to shoot for the Wolves. Trailing it by 2. 5 seconds. Kostoiak back to Purdue, out of bounds, Charlotte ball.
Well, Larry Kostoiak had a wide open shot, and he chose to try to pass it to Will Purdue. Now the ball was tipped. Was it off Will Purdue last?
It's going to be no. They're going to be giving it to the Bulls.
I think they said that Robert Parrish got a piece of it. I wonder if Will Purdue really got a. I don't know if it went off his hand or not. Let's watch. Kostoiak passes up the shot. There's the deflection. It's a good call. Hank Armstrong stepped in, gets it right.
Yeah.
So there should not be a recycling. The shot clock should be down to about 2 seconds or 3.
They're going to give it 3 on the shot clock. Bulls ball under their own hoop, trailing by 2. Armstrong, catch and shoot. Outlet to Bogues.
Look at this little guy pulling up to shoot the ball.
Stoliak playing strong at the power forward here in this third quarter. Harper stutter step drive, and he's fouled.
Well, Hersey Hawkins has really struggled to get going tonight, Bob. 4 points in the game. He's shooting 1 for 5. They really need him with Lonzo Mourning being out to provide them some offense.
Here's a look at tonight's GMC scoreboard. The first Friday of regular season action in the NBA. The Indiana Pacers, I think they'll win the Central Division. The Lakers leading Detroit. Detroit's going to be an interesting young team. Houston defending, still trying to get respect.
Yeah, people, I don't think, still want to believe that Houston won the championship last year. It's not like defending champion, let's knock them off. And a lot of people are not even picking them to win their division this year.
San Antonio looks pretty good, and I like Denver.
If Denver can get healthy, they really had a major injury with LaFonso Ellis went down. They really need him. But if he can come back, Jalen Rose has played very, very well. They've added Dale Ellis. They've got some veteran players. And how about Mutombo to be able to anchor your defense with?
It's going to be a good team. We have several other games on our TNT schedule this year. Tony Kukoc has played 11 minutes previously, has no points so far in the game for Chicago.
Only attempted one shot.
Burrell is fouled by Kukoc, trying to step out on him.
But Tony has a major weakness. It's that he really doesn't get down and move his feet on defense. He wants to play with his upper body, and he plays straight up. And Bob, it's like any other sporting event. Whatever you play, you've got to bend your knees. That's where all your power comes from. And you've got to be able to slide your feet. And that's where he really struggles.
Hornets by a point. 5:15 to go in the third quarter.
Trying to free Del Curry up for that baseline jump shot.
Got a hold on Ron Harper. That's his third personal.
Bob, this is a one-point game, and it's so quiet in here. This is so unlike the Chicago Stadium. It had so much ambiance and noise and atmosphere and all that. It's just so quiet.
It's much more like a concert hall or a symphony hall. Not the same as the old building, that's for sure. I doubt they'll call this place the Madhouse on Madison Street, although it's a beautiful facility.
It is beautiful. I mean, it's a state-of-the-art. I walked in, it was so different, just the feeling being in this building. Harper wants to post up Muggsy Bogues. They will not get him the ball. Look at him, just wants the ball. So finally, now they're going to double team, and they force a turnover, it looks like.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Bulls will keep the ball with 4 on the shot clock. You know, it's not easy for the Bulls if they really run through that triple post offense to just make quick adjustments. Harper finally gets the ball, misses the jump hook. Larry Johnson rebounds. Harper is 2 for 10 tonight. Now that's continuing his offensive struggle that he's had all preseason.
And both of his baskets have been layups.
Gaddison at center against Purdue.
A motion passing game from Charlotte Hornets trying to free up their outside shooters. Shot clock winding down once again.
Gaddison power move inside. See clock running down with 4:08 to go in the third. Hornets by 3.
See Gaddison coming off the bench with Parrish, Michael Adams, really, and Del Curry really gives them 4 veteran players now that they can go to for 82 games. That's going to really, really help them during the course of the year. Here's the backstrong.
Has it punched away by Bogues. It'll be Bulls ball with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Muggsy Bogues gets down and behind your knees defensively and buckles these fellas. I mean, it's hard to post him up, really, despite his height.
And you know what's happened about the last 3 possessions? The Bulls have tried to take advantage of him inside, and they've got out of their offensive attack. The clock has worked against him now. This is the 4th straight possession, and BJ's trying to bail him out once again.
And he missed that one. Yeah, I mean, teams better learn pretty soon. You can't post up Muggsy Bogues. He causes problems down there. Offensive foul. It's on Del Curry. That's his third. Hornets by 3. Only 22 points total have been scored in this quarter with 3:35 remaining.
Boy, Phil Jackson very animated, yelling at the guys to stop worrying about trying to post up Muggsy Bogues and just play basketball when in the framework of the offense. Very, very upset that time.
That should be just a general rule. He's hard to post up. JoJo English missing from long range. Johnson goes down hard. Let's see if he's all right. JoJo English for 3. And the Bulls have tied it. Johnson went down with that bad back, and he's running down court relatively slowly now. We'll keep an eye on him, see if he got hurt.
How about this? Muggsy Bogues and Michael Adams on the floor together now.
Armstrong runs down the loose ball out to JoJo English.
See, JoJo now is going to be played by Michael Adams.
Kukoc with his first basket of this ball game. Only his 2nd shot.
I think Alan Bristow really has to watch this team he has on the floor. A very small team. He doesn't get himself in trouble here. Tough.
Michael Adams with a difficult double bump.
That was a tough shot.
I like Muggsy Bogues and Michael Adams in certain situations on the floor at the same time.
It's okay if you don't get mismatched defensively.
Kukoc for 3. He has struggled with that ever since he entered the league. Stoiak defensed well, misses the shot. It's tied at 61.
Look at this, the shooters you got on the floor right now. Del Curry, Michael Adams.
That's 11 rebounds for Purdue, but the turnover. Curry to Adams.
Michael Adams is playing a sensational game tonight.
Michael Adams has 14 points.
Got that little running one-hander that see, you got to run out and play him at the three-point line, and now he's able to get past you, and he's got that little running one-foot shot that's so difficult to defend because he doesn't go all the way to the basket with it. He makes it about an 8-foot shot.
It's one of the things the shortened three-point line does is open up that lane for the penetration. Purdue missing from the baseline for Stoiak as it knocks out about off the hands of Larry Johnson. Chicago ball.
Watch Michael Adams now. Watch this little running one-foot shot. It's a tough shot to defend because Purdue, if you take one more dribble, will block that shot.
The Magic and the Knicks this Thursday at 8 Eastern on TBS.
For over 90 years, we've built a reputation for truck strength. Now we're adding a new dimension of even greater comfort. With the luxury of leather and a refined new interior, surrounded by all the strength you'd expect from GMC truck, which may be the greatest comfort of all.
Hi, I'm Bridgette Cooper with this Comcast in the Fast Lane update. A lot of people are wondering what the future of cable television will be like on the information superhighway. Well, one thing that's coming around the corner is a concept called video on demand. Video on demand allows you to watch an exact program when you want to watch it. For example, you'll be able to call up almost any movie title at any given time. You then become your own program director as you select movies and other specials you want to watch. And the good news is that you'll only pay for what you watch. The cable service pay-per-view, which most Comcast customers currently receive, marked the beginning of video on demand. With pay-per-view, you get first-run movies and special events from the comfort and convenience of your own home. Comcast is developing new and exciting services such as video on demand as we strive to offer you greater choice and convenience. Stay tuned.
The Bulls brothers performing here at the new United Center, but I'll tell you what, the crowd just doesn't get in it with the raucous kind of feeling they had across the street at the old Madhouse. It may be because the place is so pretty, people don't want to be rowdy.
Very comfortable in here. You can sit back and get a little lazy if you're not careful, especially if there's not a lot of action to cheer. And right now, the Bulls have not been crisp for most of this game. A lot of turnovers. Last year, the Bulls averaged only 15 turnovers a game. Tonight they have 21 already, and we only have 1:39 remaining in the third quarter. So they're looking at possibly a 30 turnover night. If they can win this game turning the ball over like that, it would be a very positive thing.
Greg Foster, Steve Kerr check in for Chicago, along with JoJo English, Pippen, and Kukoc. Adams and Bogues remain on the floor for Charlotte with Gaddison, Del Curry, and Larry Johnson. Steve Kerr. Pippen trying to get the isolation move. Got an illegal defense called on Larry Johnson as he backed off Kukoc.
That's the straddle, the free throw line that we talked about. Larry Johnson went below the free throw line. The rule this year is the minute you do that, it's an automatic illegal defense. Now watch Larry Johnson, number 2 at the top. Top of the circle is Tony Kukoc. When he drops right there, he must immediately double team the ball or it's an illegal defense. That's the second one of the game. Steve Kerr misses the free throw, but what they're trying to do is not allow you to go back and forth. You had the 2.9 rule where you could fake it and go back and forth. This year, it's immediately an illegal defense.
Pass into Pippen for the big jam. Tied at 63. Scotty has 18. JoJo English trying to keep up with Michael Adams. Kerr doing likewise with Bogues. 10 to shoot.
Pippen matched against Curry, tried to take away his outside shot. This is a tough matchup here for Tony Kukoc now.
3 to shoot. 2 would have counted. Loose ball foul.
Larry Johnson over the back of Tony Kukoc.
That's 4 on Larry Johnson. Wingate checking in for the Charlotte Hornets. Muggsy Bogues will sit down. Tied at 63. Opening telecast on TNT, the 94-95 season. Foster to Kerr, and it partially blocked by Michael Adams.
See, when you have players like Steve Kerr and John Paxson, not so much B.J. Armstrong anymore, but you really need creative players on the floor that can free some space up to get those guys their shots.
JoJo English with elevation, couldn't get it to drop, and Wingate off to Adams. Look at that knifing pass to Curry.
No one protected the backcourt. JoJo English took the shot, and Steve Kerr must rotate back. He did not get there. Del Curry, the recipient of the fast break, to put him up by 2.
30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Coach.
See, that's a bailout by Tony. He can get a better shot than that. Larry Johnson has 4 fouls. If he puts it on the floor, Larry Johnson's going to let him go where he wants to go because he does not want to pick up the 5th.
10 seconds to go in the quarter. Charlotte waiting for the last shot.
See if they can get Curry a 3-point shot out of this.
Punched away by Kerr with 2.9 to go.
Tony Kukoc that time double-teamed the ball to force them out of their offense. They had to freelance him. A good rotation back knocked the ball out of bounds.
3 seconds to get the shot off. Larry Johnson pulls up, shoots quickly. Misses. Foster. And the Hornets led by 1 at the half. They lead by 2 at the end of 3. And Michael Adams off the bench has had a big game tonight. 14 points and some clutch baskets. He's 2 out of 3 from 22 feet.
Dear Diary, today it's sunny and noisy.
Helicopter! Iggy! A helicopter! We're safe! We're safe! We're safe! We're safe!
Frank, we're sending you down.
Oh, you look good. Oh, you look good. Come here.
Hey, what are you looking at?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
At GMC Truck, we built a reputation for truck strengths. A considerable advantage that also comes in this handy take-home size. Sierra from GMC Truck.
Everybody needs some money sometime. Everybody needs some cash somehow.
Hello?
Rita.
It's midnight.
I need $500. Now.
I'll call Western Union.
Just call 1-800-CALL-CASH, and you can send money from home.
My sometime is now.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
Let's take a look here now at this fast break. Here's Steve Kerr right here. And in actuality, he should be more back at the center line because what's going to happen is this ball is knocked loose. And we stop it right here. All of a sudden, Del Curry has the angle on him, and as the pass goes ahead, Steve Kerr just cannot get there quickly enough, and Del Curry's going to run out and get the easy basket. This is called protecting your backcourt, and your point guard must always be in a position to do that.
Excellent delivery by Michael Adams on the run to Del Curry on that fast break basket. Final 12 minutes of basketball here in our season opener on TNT. Hornets lead it by 2. Low-scoring game. Another Bulls turnover. Adams, another good pass.
Nice pass.
Big block by Foster.
Turnovers.
Curry got the stick back.
22 turnovers now for the Bulls.
Scottie Pippen leading all scorers with 18. Kukoc hasn't taken many shots.
Tony looks like he's not looking for a shot. It's all 2 guys left him, and he had a wide open lane to the basket and just didn't take it.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Kerr buries a 3. And the Bulls Bulls are within one.
Bulls now 3 for 13 from the three-point line. Charlotte 4 for 11. So everybody thinking that shot's going to be such an easy shot at 22 feet. Both percentages very low tonight for both teams.
Stolen by Kukoc. Kerr back to Kukoc. To Pippen. And the Bulls regain the lead by 1, 68-67. 10:54 remaining in the game.
Very unselfish play by Kukoc. He had the layup. He kicked it back to Scottie Pippen. A lot of animosity has been created between these two players. I think more so media-wise than what really exists.
Well, Kukoc, of course, makes more money than Scottie. That's where it comes from. So does B.J. Armstrong.
So do you.
I like that. Scottie understands mine, though.
Michael Adams with the turnover. Tony Kukoc gets the ball back from Steve Kerr. He has the layup, and he unselfishly gives it to Scottie Pippen. We saw earlier in the game B.J. Armstrong had a layup, and he handed off to Larry Krystkowiak. So Bulls playing very unselfishly. Steve Kerr will be shooting a technical free throw here. He missed the first one on the illegal defense, and he gets this one to go.
And the Bulls up by 2. Robert Parrish is going to come back in for the Charlotte Hornets. Alan Bristow in his 4th year in the league. Alan now one of the more experienced of the NBA coaches.
No, say what you said, one of the deans of coaching in 4 years.
The leading coaches, the deans have 7 years. Jerry Sloan and Don Nelson.
Phil Jackson third was 6.
10 on the shot clock. Jojo English, floater. And the foul.
Del Curry rotates out against JoJo English, and he runs straight at him. Watch him run straight up, and he just goes for a little fake, and then he compounds it by bumping him, giving him a three-point play opportunity. Bob, when you run at shooters, you've got to run at them with the idea that I'm going to force him left, which is what he did, but you've got to contain them. And that time, Del Curry stood straight up, and when he did, he allowed JoJo English to penetrate right into the lane and pull up and get the easy jumper.
Opportunity for a three-point play from JoJo English. He cashes it in, and the Bulls now have built a 5-point lead on a 9-0 run, all scored by the bench.
Well, the bench was suspect in the first half when they only shot 2 for 13, or excuse me, 3 for 12. They have provided a nice lift off the bench, mostly JoJo English. So they've been very high on this young man for the last couple of years. Here's a chance for him to step in and really play well.
The foul is on Foster. Larry Johnson hard to the hoop. Lux, the guy who kept it alive, however, it went out of bounds and will belong to the Charlotte Hornets. Oh, the difference in this Charlotte team without Alonzo Mourning.
Well, they can't rebound, they can't get any second shots, and they can't patrol the lane to block any shots inside. So you look up, they're trailing by only 5, and they've been just murdered on the offensive boards.
9:50 to go in this game. Burrell back in. Larry Johnson, he's pinned underneath the hoop, can't get a shot away. They're giving the ball to Chicago. Larry Johnson wanted to hear a whistle, didn't. Larry's playing with 4 himself, by the way.
If you notice Larry Johnson around the basket, he used to have such power. He still has the power, but he doesn't have the lift. So what he does, he changes a lot of shots and corkscrews them around the basket. That time, Scottie Pippen with a great little reach-in move to knock it away.
Pippen whirling dervish. Larry Johnson, tough defensive rebound there. Here comes Michael Adams on the run, looking for an opening. Finding it. Pippen now running with the Bulls.
Kerr for 3 here if Scottie finds him.
Knocked out of bounds by Scott Burrell. 9:15 to go in the game. Bulls by 5. Timeout, Chicago. As Phil Jackson comes out here and meets his players at half court to talk with them.
Tuesday night, Rocket Cash. Tuesday at 8 on TNT.
It's been our observation that people don't necessarily like the idea of getting older.
It's a gut be gone. Roy just loves his.
In which case, we have a suggestion.
Ta-da! Now make a wish,
A 175 horsepower Fountain of Youth. The 94 Isuzu Rodeo. Practically amazing.
Only I can make my game better.
It's my name on the jersey. And my game is my responsibility. Your education is your responsibility. The ball's in your court. Get an attitude, a positive one. Put the time into your homework. Attend your classes. And raise your hand once in a while. I know what you're thinking. It's a lot easier to shoot a ball than to study for a test. But at least I know the capital of Montana and the temperature water freezes. Stay in school. It's your best move. Oh, Helena and 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Three-pointer! Count it! Yeah, milk and honey!
Butters.
It's like rain. It's always coming down.
Just a reminder.
If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
If you're talking basketball, Foot Locker knows exactly where you're coming from. Wherever that is. Foot Locker. Where it all begins.
Come on, let's go again.
Phil Jackson with a tough job on his hands trying to get this Bulls team to remain as good as they were with the championship years with much less players. Alan Bristow just hoping that the injuries heal this year. We said that both of those players, or those coaches, are two of the more veteran coaches in the NBA, and there are the coaches with the longest tenure: Don Nelson, Jerry Sloan, Chris Ford with 5 years.
Well, Alan Bristow needs Alonzo Mourning back. The Charlotte's being out-rebounded by 12. They only have one block shot, and that one block shot is by Michael Adams.
JoJo English with the beautiful steal and all the way, and he draws the foul.
JoJo English playing very, very well, aggressively, taking the ball to the basket. And the one thing he can do is he can make some outside jump shots. Del Curry, 1-on-2, tries to take the ball behind his back. He's picked by JoJo English, who then takes it the other way and draws the foul, so he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Bulls by 5, 9:03 remaining in this game. I wonder what the reviews will be from fans and the media tomorrow here in Chicago with the first regular season game at the new United Center.
Well, if they win, they'll be good, and if they lose, it won't be so good. But I think the one thing, Bob, is that this building will get its own personality through time. I mean, the Chicago Stadium was a place that had so many great athletes, both in hockey and basketball, and all the sports that were played in there. And this building has not had that opportunity yet to give me personality.
Last 5 points for the Bulls, scored by JoJo English. Chicago on an 11-0 run. My, oh my, look at that move from Scott Burrell. Exploded in for the jam and drew the foul.
That was flashes of the brilliance that we've seen from Scott Burrell from time to time in the last couple seasons, but Corey Blunt lets him go right, and here's Foster trying to get the block, and Scott Burrell with the power play, and they needed this badly. A three-point play that brings them now back within 4 as they've gotten behind by 7.
Full court pressure from the Hornets. They bothered the Bulls earlier with this. But all-court player Scottie Pippen can come out and solve that about any time he can get the ball in his hands.
Bulls really spreading the floor here offensively. Look for Steve Kerr to try to come off a screen. That's a 4th shot by English.
Corey Blunt, big offensive rebound. The reverse doesn't fall. Ball belongs to Chicago.
Just can't get a rebound. Bob, that's going to be the disaster as we see New York beat Boston by 13.
Boston with a lot of new faces, and Milwaukee beats Philadelphia. Philadelphia without the big dog. You saw that Craig Singer interview with Robinson. Milwaukee did not get him completely signed.
It sounded like there was something wrong with an insurance.
Who's going to pay it and how? Looks like he might buy his own insurance at $70 million for 10 years.
I wish I had the opportunity to turn down $70 million for 10 years.
Yeah, if somebody says I'm going to pay me $70 million, I don't ask them how, as long as I believe they're going to give it to me. Scottie Pippen had some comments about that, by the way, prior to the game. I chatted with him. He says a lot of the veterans in the league really want to get a cap on the rookie salaries. I don't know if it'll happen, but a lot of players want that. Larry Johnson with 7 on the shot clock against Kristoyan. Illegal defense called against Chicago. That was on Pippen. That's the second, so they'll shoot it.
Going below the free throw line once again. We saw it earlier in the year. Or earlier in the game, Scottie Pippen off the ball defensively. He's going to be on the You see him cutting underneath the basket right now, and when his man clears to the tip of the circle, Scotty cannot be below the free throw line. Right there, he's illegal, and that's when he was caught.
Bulls by 3, 8:04 to go in the ballgame. Going to see some herky-jerky action here early in the NBA season with the rules changes. A lot of new faces, a lot of new emphasis on when the penalties get called. Let the players adjust. They even adjust during the game, actually.
Yeah, you see the fouls. 9 fouls in the first quarter, 3 and then 5 in the third by Charlotte. So the fouls came right out for the Bulls. It was 6, 6, and 4. So it was 15 fouls in the first quarter and 33 for the first 3. So 18 in the following 2 quarters. So you could see it go down.
Purdue went down. Speaking of going down, somebody popped him in the nose and he went down like a boxer. Like it dazed him, but he's back up.
And when you sat as long as Will has on the bench, you're not going to let that keep you from playing.
No kidding.
It's an offensive foul on Will Purdue. He moved on the screen. Again, the emphasis on screening and setting good screens this year is going to be watched. We've already seen about 3 illegal screens called tonight.
Bulls by 3. Purdue now with 4 fouls. 9th offensive foul in this game. Unusually high. To shoot for the Hornets. Larry Johnson has it stripped by Krzysztofiak, but the foul will be called. And that will be his 3rd.
See, 7:22 to go now, Bob. It's a 3-point lead by the Chicago Bulls. And talked about the Charlotte Hornets. 2 years ago, they were an excellent road team. When they were healthy, they actually played as well on the road as they did at home. This is the kind of game you must dig in defensively on the road and see if you can steal this game even with your lack of rebound. And then you hope you get Alonzo Mourning back, and then it's really a boost to your team. So let's see if Charlotte now can steal this game in the last 7:22, or let's see if Chicago's experience and maybe the greatness of a Pippen and a B.J. Armstrong will sustain them.
There's Alonzo, well dressed tonight. As, of course, he always is.
Charlotte extending their defense a little bit right now. I try to keep that ball out of Scottie Pippen's hands because you've got trouble here.
Ron Harper back in the floor for Chicago. The Bulls with their starting lineup on the floor here with 7 to go in the game. Armstrong, 10 to shoot. Purdue pounds it inside, foul by Parrish. That's 5 fouls on Robert Parrish. So Robert Parrish in foul trouble here. He has only 5 points tonight, too.
I really look for Chicago to try to free up B.J. Armstrong in the last 7 minutes. He's only taken 7 shots in the game, has 8 points, and again had his career high against Muggsy Bogues last year, 28 points the first game this season. Let's see if they try to free him up. Normally he and Pippen will be the 2 guys that will try to carry them in the last 6-7 minutes now with Michael not here.
Let's stop the action and award the ball to Will Purdue. He hit both free throws. Has 10 points and 11 rebounds in this game. Parrish has only 5 points, 5 turnovers, and 5 fouls. Purdue has played well here tonight. Bulls are up by 3.
Larry Johnson isolating again against Krzysztofiak. A fadeaway jumper. Last year was deadly with that.
Caught by Pippen. That's not offensive basket interference. Krzysztofiak had it blocked by Parrish or Larry Johnson. Johnson doesn't know Armstrong's coming.
See, that's where you slow down. Larry Johnson was going to gather himself to dunk the ball, and that's where you got to go strong because you know the defense is coming in behind you. So it's a great foul by B.J. Armstrong. Krzysztofiak sneaks behind the defense, but Robert Parrish comes over and gets the block, and then the good outlet pass, he throws ahead. Scotty Burrell, once he gets the outlet pass, goes to Larry Johnson. You see him sort of Cadillacing it in there to get the dunk, and B.J. Armstrong not allowing it.
Now remember, he's been hurt. He had only 2 practices. Larry Johnson is not in great condition, and you can really see it there.
And I agree with you completely. It's like he was gathering himself to get enough lift to be able to finish that shot.
13 points, 5 boards. in this ball game, and he's definitely his activity and his efficiency has definitely declined from the first quarter.
I mean, let's see if Kenny Gaddison will be in for the finish also, too. When I talked to Alan Bristow today, he said, I got to get 96 minutes out of Larry Johnson, Parrish, and Gaddison. I don't know if I can do that or not. Looks like Larry Johnson's starting to limp a little bit. He's played 28 minutes tonight.
Yeah, and Scottie Pippen just left the floor and went to the locker room. We'll find out why in just a moment. Pippen off the floor, Kukoc on there. 8 on the shot clock for Chicago. Harper pretty move inside. 6 minutes to go in the game. The Bulls by 3. Harper 3 of 11 tonight, and all 3 have been lay-ins.
Yes, they have. Or those little floating shots, inside that lane in that painted area.
Bogues quick release gets knocked down by Kosteliak.
Well, Ron Harper's done a nice job on the boards at 7. He had 6 in the first half.
Armstrong from Purdue.
I think they're going to go to B.J. Armstrong. He can come off screens and get shots against Muggsy Bogues. Bulls lead by 5.
80-75 with 5:30 to go, and Armstrong has 10 points.
Tom, let's talk about Texas. Come on, barbecue salad.
As good as you are at maneuvering through difficult terrain indoors, the Isuzu Rodeo suspension system is at maneuvering outdoors.
Become one with the mud.
Experts have recently begun recommending mud baths for the relief of stress.
Become one with the mud.
Heck, we've known that for years. The 175 horsepower Isuzu Rodeo.
Every time we say goodbye.
Goodbyes are never easy, but none are as painful as saying goodbye forever. So please, give blood once more this year. You could help save someone you never want to part with.
I wonder why a little.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. Back to Chicago in just a second. We have our first buzzer-beating game winner of the season on opening night. It happens as Washington takes on Orlando. And you're not going to believe this, folks. The Bullets won the home opener. Rex Chapman over Horace Grant. They did put 3/10 of a tick back on there. He hit a free throw. And Washington, down 108-107, wins it 110-108. They're dancing in the streets. Juwan Howard didn't even play. They won it by 2, 110-108. Howard, as I said, has not signed. The Bullets are 1-0. Let's go back to Chicago.
Jimmy Lynam on a roll with the Bullets. Oh, my. Good. NBA is back. Bulls by 5. 5:34 to go in this game here. Scottie Pippen, we told you, went into the locker room. We still do not know why he is not back yet.
Keep your eye on this matchup now. Kukoc and Del Curry got to be really careful not to leave Curry. He shot the ball very well tonight.
Muggsy Bogues wanted to penetrate. Here's Curry over the defense and missed everything. Armstrong got right in his face. Offensive board by Parrish. Purdue with his 12th rebound.
Will has played a very, very nice game tonight.
Kosteliak fouled hard by Charlotte.
Transition defense. You must run back down the floor. Scottie Pippen back on the bench, reading his lips. He says, I'm okay. And Phil says, we'll get back in there. We need you in the last 5 minutes. But again, Charlotte not getting back defensively. Kosteliak leaking out on the break. And he'll shoot 2 free throws. So when we talked to Alan Bristow today, he said one of his concerns was we must be better in our transition defense.
Scottie Pippen was a little bit nauseous prior to this game tonight. Said he had a touch of the flu, and that's what the trainers are telling us now. That he became nauseous, and that's why he had to leave. So he's back out there, but battling off the flu. Bulls by 6, 5:05 to go in the game.
Where do we go? Where do we go, Larry?
And the Bulls now go with their starting lineup here for the last 5 minutes. 7.
Larry Johnson really limping right now. Bobby, looking at him out on the floor.
You know he's tired, and he hit the floor really hard in the second quarter. He may have bruised something also. Krystkowiak with the steal for Chicago off the bad Del Curry pass. And Larry Johnson can barely run down the floor. He looks like he's limping on that bad leg. Remember, he was hurt. They thought he had a stress fracture, and it turned out to be just a strain.
Larry Johnson only has 1 field goal in this half, so conditioning is a major factor. Harper here trying to post against Hersey Hawkins.
Missing the jump hook. Purdue gets the ball, but is called for the the loose ball foul. And that'll be 5 on Purdue. Parrish also carrying 5. Purdue having to go a lot of extra minutes at center as both Luke Longley and Bill Wennington are in street clothes tonight. Wennington on the injured list. Longley still trying to recover from his sprained ankle. And that's Luke Longley on the right, and Judd Buechler you saw there on the left, who's the forward, also on the injured list.
Hersey Hawkins, 4 points tonight, 1 of 5 from the field. Last year had his career low in all the numbers. He shot 33% from the three-point line, 46 from the two-point line, averaged only 14 points a game, adjusting to the passing game offense of Charlotte. And tonight he has been completely taken out of this game with only 5 field goal attempts in 26 minutes.
Down to 4:25 to go. 5-point game. Charlotte will extend the defense.
When in doubt, get it to Scottie Pippen. Usually the press breaker for them.
Hey, 53, 53. Pippen defended by Hersey Hawkins. Pick from Krystkowiak. Long range shot from Larry. Kukoc can't get the rebound to go.
You don't want to leave this man right there in transition. He'll pull the trigger on the 3 quickly. Doesn't get it to go.
The Bulls with a, quote, small lineup on the floor now. No true center in the game for Chicago.
And Charlotte's matching it. They're taking Kenny Gaddison out of the game. Larry Johnson will be their center at 6'5". Burrell, their power forward. They have Hersey Hawkins, Del Curry, and Muggsy Bogues. This is the 6'5" and under league right now for Charlotte.
Charlotte's been on a power outage. No field goal in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, man, Scottie Pippen just got wrestled by Larry Johnson. No call.
They gave the turnover to Pippen instead of him drawing the foul.
Yeah, you had insult to injury there. Not only you get the no foul, but you get, it's three-pointer. We got a technical foul.
And remember, there's a 3-second violation, but remember, it gives me a chance to point this out. This year, if a three-point shooter is fouled, he gets 3 free throw attempts.
We've seen every other rule tonight. We might as well go with that. It looks like Indiana with a close win over Atlanta. Atlanta trailed most of that game, came back to make it close.
Is that the Omni in Atlanta?
And 48 turnovers in this game tonight.
Ronnie Nunn with the foul call. It's against Charlotte. And that's on Del Curry, his 5th.
Hey, Bob, these new rules are supposed to open up the offense. I mean, Charlotte last year averaged 107 points a game. They have 77 points with 3.5 minutes to go. The Bulls with only 82.
Neither team able to get into any kind of rhythm, nor either team able to really run the floor well tonight. One reason Charlotte can is they don't defensively rebound.
Charlotte has not rebounded, and the Bulls have turned the ball over, but the problem is Charlotte's compounded that now. They have almost equaled the Bulls with turnovers. They now have 23, the Bulls 25. So early in the game when they were able to get their lead, they were taking advantage of the Bulls' turnovers, even though they weren't rebounding the ball.
Now Blunt and Foster come in as the Bulls get a little bigger up front. So it'll be Blunt, Foster, Krystkowiak. And the Bulls are very confused. They don't know who's supposed to be where on the floor. And Kukoc now goes to the bench. So let's get it straight for you. Harper and Armstrong are the guards. Pippen.
Tony mumbling all the way to not happy. He's been taken out twice now in this 4th quarter.
And Blunt and Foster are big up front.
You got Rick Foster playing Scott Burrell. Let's see if they can isolate him at the top of the circle. Let him work against Foster. Foster could not play him defensively.
Foul away from the ball. It's on Harper. That's his 4th. 3:16 to go in the game. And yes, it is a low-scoring game. 83 77. It's the game of adjustment here tonight. Coming up right after this, we'll be going live to Yokohama, Japan for tonight's ball game with the Clippers and the Trailblazers. Ron Poole and Hubie Brown will have that for you right after this ball game. And someone said it's in Yokohama, which is I was talking to somebody here in Chicago today. I said, now Yokohama's right near Tokyo. And I said, yeah, it's to Tokyo as Gary, Indiana is to Chicago.
Okay. Seems like Phil Jackson right now is going offensive, defensive substitutions. Now with the Bulls having the ball again, he's coming in with Krzysztofiak and Kukoc. So if they stop the play again, he'll probably come back in with Foster and Corey Blunt defensively. Dickie Simpkins has not played much tonight, and people were really raving about how well he had played in the exhibition season.
And I thought he played rather well in the few minutes he did get. He's a big body at 6'10" and 250. Charlotte's last 9 points have come from the free throw line. But it's nevertheless only a 4-point game. Plenty of time left. On the shot clock, trying to post Pippen. 4 on the shot clock. 3. Tough shot by Scotty. Krzysztofiak is fouled.
Again, Larry Johnson just could not keep Krzysztofiak off the board, so Krzysztofiak's activity and Larry Johnson's lack of conditioning is going to put him on the line now for 2 free throws. This is, again, Bob, at crunch time, and I know I've talked about this the whole night, but you've got to be able to rebound the ball, and Charlotte just can't do it. Alan Bristow's gone with a small lineup right now with Burrell as your power forward, Larry Johnson as your center, and they've got to clean up the backboard. You get a good stop, you make them use 24 seconds, and you give them an offensive rebound.
You see that Larry has 5 personal fouls. Alan Bristow said it very well today earlier to me. He says, I told Larry Johnson that at this point in time, with his injury, with his lack of condition, he's got to consider himself an average player. He cannot expect himself to be an NBA All-Star player at this point in the season because he's not in that kind of shape yet. And we're seeing an average night. Maybe in some cases below average from Larry Johnson.
Well, it's so very hard once you've played at a certain level to accept that. And I'm sure from Larry Johnson, he hopes that he can regain his complete ability. If he can do that with Mourning with the additions, Charlotte can contend. But right now with him hobbling and you can see him limping up and down the floor, this is going to be a team that will be very suspect inside.
Bulls by 6, 2:45 remaining.
Here's the isolation that I talked about with Burrell this time against Blunt.
Larry Johnson, he splits through 3 defenders. Pippen with a big rebound. Kicks the ball back out. Armstrong tried to call a 20, and they didn't give it to him. I remember last year, a lot of players flying out of bounds with the ball would try to call the 20 and get it. They're not going to give it to them this year.
Well, I like that because that was a possible change of possession. BJ had no place to go. Well, there's muscle by Larry Johnson. That's vintage Larry Johnson on the offensive boards.
Big rebound. Larry Johnson has 16 points, carrying 5 personal fouls. Bulls by 4 with 2 minutes to go in the game.
Watch B.J. Armstrong coming off a staggered screen.
A mismatch there for Krzysztofiak. He was being defended by Curry, but he misses the jump hook.
See if he comes back with Michael Adams, too, with Muggsy Bogues offensively. They might go offensive defense with those 2 players.
Larry Johnson double team. Double clutches. Loose ball foul. It's on Chicago.
Larry Johnson with the offensive rebound, the left hand, he comes back, goes up strong and gets the score.
Larry Johnson will go to the free throw line as that foul was on Ron Harper, who now has 5. We're talking about Larry Johnson's conditioning. You can't talk about the condition of his heart tonight.
No, not at all.
Battler.
And I think this is a great timeout by Alan Bristow. He needs these 2 free throws, and Larry Johnson completely out of breath, not ready to shoot them.
From Eureka, vacs so powerful they've earned the Corvette name. Corvette hand vac with powered brush roll. New Corvette wet dry with high performance 4-horsepower motor. Both great deals. The next generation from Eureka.
What would it be like if everyone had the same face?
The same face. Well, to get a comfortable shave, you wouldn't need a razor as flexible as the Schick Tracer. The Tracer bends to fit each individual face, leaving your unique face uniquely comfortable. The Schick Tracer. We're changing the face of shaving.
Some burger joints got a meal cost $2.99. Who cares if I'm not going to like eating it? But if you make it taste good, like a Whopper, throw in some fries and a drink, I'll gladly pay you $2.99. I'd even go as high as $3.02.
Burger King. Get your burger's worth.
Nice painting. What is it?
Not a very interesting piece. Reminiscent of early Dadaism.
What's Dadaism?
If he's so smart, why is he using those other batteries?
With a brain that big, you'd think he'd know Duracell batteries outlast all other brands.
Now, if...
You're right, Mom. The museum can be fun.
The Copper Top. Tops them all.
Bulls by 4 with 1:40 remaining in this ball game, carrying 5 fouls. Larry Johnson, Parrish, Curry for the Hornets, Purdue and Harper for the Chicago Bulls with 1:40 to go, and the Bulls up by 4. Larry Johnson, after a brief respite, goes to the free throw line.
I think you made a great point, though. You cannot question Larry Johnson's heart. Here's a guy who doesn't have to play tonight. It's the first game of the season. He's been out with a stress reaction in his foot. He wants to play. He wants to be out there. And I think that says a lot for his competitive nature. So we talk so much about contracts, but this guy could take tonight off if he wanted to and have every reason to do that.
Missing the free throw. Krystoliak with the rebound. Hold it.
I think they're going to call it
2. He gets 2, does he not?
Yeah, it should be 2-shot foul. It's not college 1-and-1.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Krystoliak with a nice effort.
Charlotte has not been able to throw it in the ocean this quarter. They are 3 for 15 from the field. Johnson gets 1 out of 2. And it's a 3-point Bulls lead.
Well, they're 1 possession away from tying this game. Let's see if defensively they can get themselves a big stop here.
Last year in Charlotte, it was overtime. Bulls won it on a Horace Grant tip-in. These two teams open the season. Pippen's turnaround jumper rattles home. Great touch for Scotty. 20 points for Pippen.
That's a big basket. Gives you a 5-point lead. Makes it 2 possessions at least. Possibly 3.
Bogues darting about, looking for an opening. Finds Morrell. Misses from long range. B.J. Armstrong, big rebound. Outlet to Ron Harper. 1 minute remaining. Bulls up by 5. Armstrong with instructions to Kukoc. Armstrong with 7 on the shot clock. Wave it off. Loose ball foul. Wingate was pulled down by Harper, and that'll throw him out of the game. That's 6 for Ron Harper. Big effort tonight for Harper, particularly rebounding in his debut with the Chicago Bulls, but he's had trouble scoring.
It's a loose ball foul. We're going to keep our eye on Ron Harper as he flashes it underneath. Boy, it looked like to me that Wingate was just falling down there. Ron Harper upset. That would have sealed the ball game with 49 seconds to go. Instead, it gives Charlotte new life. If Wingate can make both of these free throws, they're once again 1 possession down.
Harper, as I said, good effort tonight, is 3 of 12 as Wingate misses a big free throw. Here's a look at that controversial call again.
Now keep your eye on Wingate in the defense in the purple. He just fell down. He just fell down, and Ronnie Nunn, I think, got a little confused, thinking Harper hooked him.
For this final 49.2 seconds, Purdue has checked back in for the Bulls, and Parrish is on the floor for the Charlotte Hornets. Wingate gets 1 out of 2. It is a 4-point Bulls lead.
So you talk about free throw shooting. Had they made all 4 of their free throws, it would be a 2-point game right now. That's how important it is to make free throws in the last minute and a half of a ball game.
Now Michael Jordan made a living off of it. 10 to shoot. Pippen splits the defense, loses the ball. Belongs to Charlotte. 31.3 seconds in the game. Hornets timeout. 27 turnovers in this opener.
an Operation TNT World Premiere special, Thursday at 8 on TNT.
Dear Diary, today it's sunny and noisy.
Helicopter! Iggy! A helicopter! We're saved! We're saved! We're saved! We're saved!
Frank, we're sending you down.
Oh, you look good. Oh, you look good. Come here.
Hey, what are you looking at?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Last season, these two teams had a close one. I was telling you about this. Was down in Charlotte. Horace Grant with that tip-in with 2 seconds left in overtime, and the Bulls won at 124-123. And here tonight, these teams have scored 30 points less each in this game with a new offensive explosion.
Well, it's not been a masterpiece the way they guys have handled the balls. We see Alonzo Mourning on the sideline. It has not been a masterpiece in any way. And this is one of those teams, whoever wins is going to survive this.
Here's the story of the game, what's remaining. Hornets have no 20s, no fouls to give, and only one full timeout. Bulls have 3 with 120 also and no fouls to give. Both teams in the penalties. It's a 4-point spread with 31.3 remaining. Charlotte's Muggsy Bogues keys the action.
They'd like to get a quick shot here to get 2 for 1. I'm surprised Michael Adams is not on the floor right now. Better three-point shooter.
Curry right in the face. Pippen causing to change his shot, and then Kukoc got in the face of Burrell. The foul on Charlotte. Outstanding Bulls defense.
With 31 seconds to go, I just don't think you need a three-point shot there. I mean, you need 2 points.
Right.
And then maybe you foul. What you do is you try to get the 3. And if you miss it, basically the game is over. So I've always been an advocate of getting the quick 2, getting something going to the basket, make it a 2-point game. If you foul, they make 1 of 2. Now 3-pointer still ties the game for you.
Larry Johnson fouls out on that play with 17 points, 8 rebounds. He was only 6 of 17 from the floor, but a Herculean effort for a man who had only 2 practices because he had that stress reaction in his foot that they had earlier thought was a stress fracture. And he has to sit down with 6 fouls. Ron Harper earlier fouled out for Chicago.
It's going to be so difficult for Larry Johnson to get in shape because the more he practices, the sore that foot's going to get. And when he takes time off, it's going to be very difficult for him to get his timing. So it's like this catch-22 where you want to get yourself in shape, but the harder you work, the more you put yourself back.
And the exercycles and the treadmills and the swimming pools, none of that has anything compared to playing in the game.
That's for you and I. That's for guys who are trying to burn fat, not get in shape.
Speaking of that, you are a lean, mean fighting machine here to open this NBA season.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to get in shape for you, Bob. That's all.
I'm pumping up. I'm lifting weight. You're slimming down. I don't know. I may be able to force you off the post.
There's no question. I will not get near the post.
We have 15 seconds remaining in this one, and the Bulls have it wrapped up. Curry launches a prayer of a 3. Pippen appropriately comes away with the ball. Scottie Pippen has exhibited the leadership that the Bulls need from him in this game, and Chicago opens their season with a win here in their first ever regular season game at the new United Center, 89-83, and Scottie Pippen, 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, stepped in here tonight and did a great job of leading these Chicago Bulls to the win tonight. Scottie's going to join us tableside here at the United Center. Scottie, it's hard to find your way all the way over here with the new building. First of all, your feeling after this ball game here tonight with the new Chicago Bulls, with Grant gone and Cartwright gone, etc. After this game's over, what do you feel about it?
Well, I feel very confident. You know, as I said, going into the season, we're going to surprise a lot of people. And we came out today, I think we was a little anxious to play, but also I think the guys was a little nervous, Ron and Krasoviak, because he mentioned it before the game. But I thought they came out and played well. We didn't execute in certain parts of the game, but I think overall we played hard.
Scotty, to win this game with 27 turnovers has got to be amazing. You guys really did a good job on the offensive boards to get some second and third shots.
It was definitely amazing because we knew at halftime we had 15 turnovers, and we knew we were playing their tempo, and that's way too many turnovers for us. So we knew we had to slow the game down, but still we made too many mistakes, so we'll pay for it tomorrow.
Scotty, is it fair to say that you and BJ really are going to have to keep this team together until the new additions can get acclimated to this triangle offense?
Well, yeah, it is. And then, you know, I got to give credit to Will Perdue. He's doing a good job in there for us. He's surprising a lot of people, and probably most of it he's surprising me. But I think Will is doing a good job for us.
There you go. Stop the presses. Will Perdue gets headlines here at the first game. Now, let me ask you this about the new United Center and the feeling of playing in this building. Doug and I felt like the crowd was not nearly as much apart as they were across the street. Did you notice it at all in the game?
Well, I noticed that the old stadium is a lot more intimidating than being in a new building, but I thought the crowd was great here tonight. I thought it was very noisy, especially out on the court, and I thought they was pretty much our sixth man down the stretch of the game.
20,500. You know, as you've matured with your game, you're also getting great at these interviews of saying the right thing.
Thanks a lot.
Scottie Pippen, our Budweiser player of the game tonight. 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and his Chicago Bulls get the win 89-83. We'll be back in just a moment.